that work on the avenue, they know what Tank said. I got the that live in the mansion, they know what that. I got some that's up in the jungle, they know what that. I came on top of the building, yeah, we had a plan. We came on top of the building, yeah, we never ran. Down there, thought that I had a fan. Oh, hey, 10 o'clock, got a flight out, yeah, I'm going back out to Japan. I got 2 Billy truck and a bitch door with a land. Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. Batman, I'm best man. I got my best man. I go to hotels when I step out, yeah, your boy got a doorman. I go to nightclubs with yeah, they call me the madman. I ain't no madman, I just go crazy, man. Ball hard, can't face, man. Choppers, rip wasteland. This what happen when you give it a taste life, then you give it a wasteland. This what happen when you give it a fake life, and then the ape man. I live with birds come in. Sounds like I see it in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, from the back of it. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle shit. I live with birds come in. Sounds like I see it in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that, from the back of it. I got a girl, Brad. She go to battle shit.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, it's Keenum. It's caught by Coleman. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Keenum. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left. He's got it at the 15. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Eifert, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a first quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but it must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. Here's the fullback. This is Roosevelt Nix. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. To throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. There'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. Over the middle to catch by Coleman. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Let's go. Down. Here goes hot. Right 20.
From the 50, it's Keenum. Forced out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, it's Keenum. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, we're good. Very left. Here goes the high. Right 20.
Off play action. Keenum. They'll roll him out right. Throwing deep here for... He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Come on, let's go. Try 38.
And they'll run it here. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Let's go. What? 9.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He can run for it, and he will. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well. Outside to left upright, and this score will stay right where it is. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Keenum now to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Keenum. And that is incomplete. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this 1st quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
On is the punter, King, to send it away. Now Brown. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And the Steelers set to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Mixon with a first down carry. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Keenum. He finds Coleman. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Well, that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. Over the middle, complete. It's Coleman. And he'll go down at the 28. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. A handoff to Mixon. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's a give to Mixon. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So offensively on this drive, 2 of 2 on third downs, and now they face a third and inches. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Keenum runs the sneak, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Case Keenum with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Now Bullock to add the extra point. Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Back to throw here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Dennard. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
After the interception, here's Keenum. To the left side here for Eifert. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Throwing on first down is Keenum. He'll buy some time right. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Keenum on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman. And it's second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Keenum. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And the Steelers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Let's go!
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line. Out of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Come on, let's go. What? 9.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard. 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they'll run it here. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And a loose football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this 2nd half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
it certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Now, not to get too overcritical there, because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right, that pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Shotgun snap for Keenum. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Now the Bengals on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Keenum going to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Keenum now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now Keenum again. Caught. Eifert over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there at 22. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Damn. Hey, go, Roger. Hey, orange.
Keenum to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Coleman. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Again, it's Keenum. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing again is Keenum. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And he gets this away. Look at this. This is a good one. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A very solid gain of 27. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hand.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Davante Harris. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down. Like 20.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for Cincinnati. 41 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Keenum. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. A good pickup there of 20 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
They'll give it to Mixon. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Stand down. Stand down. There goes the high. Like 20. Roger, roger, roger.
From the gun, it's Keenum rolling to his right. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Case Keenum taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead is now 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Switzer now to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. It was Davante Harris who got him down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And the Steelers on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here, the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
And they'll go on the ground. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. They'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38. Right here. It's 55. All day. All day. Dash, dash, dash. Go, go, go down. Hut.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals will get the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0, zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for